I remember the first time I gave a public lecture in New York City. It was Harlem, October the 30th of 2010. I'll never forget it because it was that lecture along with a Chicago interview I did 3 weeks prior that really catapulted me to the top of the conscious movement. And an elder came up to me at the end of that lecture that night. And he said, "I've heard most of the great ones speak, and you might be the greatest on the microphone." And I say that not from a place of arrogance, because I don't believe I am the greatest on the microphone, but to have someone that age tell you that they would even compare you to, some of our living legends, it means a whole lot. It's just the motivation to keep going. The people really feed me. I literally feed off their energy. Also I tend to get a lot of little gifts when I go around. You saw today the brother gave me the hoodie. Yeah. I probably have a whole bin full of hoodies that have been given to me. I probably have a whole box full of shea butter samples that have been, the t-shirts,
the shea butter bunnies,
pictures, you just name it. But as you saw, I feed the people and the people feed me back. So the relationship is reciprocal.
And it was a very beautiful thing to see, to be honest, man. And when I was telling people leading up to this interview that I was going to be interviewing you, I said, what should I ask Dr. Umar? And it said, they see you all online. They see the viral clips, but they don't know where you came from. They don't know your history. So can you just give a little bit of what was your upbringing like? And also, because you're such a strong-willed character, I assume that's because of your parents. Your parents were strong in your life. Is that the case?
Absolutely. I'm from North Central Philadelphia. That's where I was born and raised. Same neighborhood as Bill Cosby. My parents were married until I was in the 4th grade. In the 3rd grade, while we were living in North Carolina, I decided I wanted to be a clinical psychologist. I don't even remember where I first heard the word psychologist, but I do remember deciding I wanted to be one in the 3rd grade. When my parents separated, my mother and my siblings and I, we came back to North Philadelphia, and I attended the George Meade Elementary School. It just so happened that in this elementary school, there was a mandatory Black history class. It wasn't required by the school district, but our Caucasian principal and our African-American vice principal somehow brought this class into existence. So Ms. Green was the Black history teacher in 4th grade and 5th grade. And so that was my introduction into Black consciousness. I also entered the public speaking oratorical contest for Black History Month, and I won 1st place both years.
No surprise.
And so I've never shut up since, right? So my public speaking career and my introduction into Black consciousness came in elementary school. Around the 6th grade, my father took me to my first family reunion in Baltimore, Maryland, and I never forget it because I almost drowned in the Days Inn Hotel swimming pool, and it was a snow bunny who saved me. So wherever she is, thank you to the Caucasian woman who jumped in the pool and saved Dr. Umar.
Can she get a pass to be with a black man?
No, but I thank her for saving my life. Because my sister left me. I almost pulled her down with me, so she said, "I'm out."
Oh, my goodness.
So thank you to the young lady who jumped in. So anyhow, during that family reunion, because again, as I said, I almost drowned, but also during that family reunion, we were walking through the backyard. I think we were at a church in Baltimore. I'm 11 years old, maybe 12. And I see all this Frederick Douglass memorabilia in the yard. And so I asked my father, "Why is all this Frederick Douglass memorabilia here? His hat, jacket, Bible." He said, "Because you're related to him." And he said it very nonchalantly, but he doesn't know. I'm in Black history class, so I know exactly who Frederick Douglass is. Come again? I'm related to the greatest Black leader in American history? Yes, you are. It turns out that Frederick Douglass, who was born Frederick Bailey on Maryland's Eastern Shore, is first cousins and half brothers to my 4 times great-grandfather, Stephen Henry Bailey. If you ever read Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, he talks about growing up on Tuckahoe Creek with Cousin Steve. Cousin Stephen is Stephen Henry Bailey, Civil War veteran, and my 4 times great-grandfather.
Damn.
So that makes Frederick Douglass a cousin. And if you consider the slave master who raped his mother and my 5 times great-grandmother, Frederick Douglass would be a uncle from that.
So it's clear that revolutionary blood runs deep.
Yes. So once I knew I was related to Frederick Douglass, I think that really charged it, you know.
Yeah. Because you have a name to live up to at that point.
You have a name to live up to.
And I think you're doing a fantastic job.
I appreciate it. And although there's people in the family, though, who may not appreciate the message because they're a little bit more integrationist minded, you know, but nonetheless, if Frederick Douglass was here, although we may have some disagreements, I think he would be very proud of the work that I've done and my mission to help keep his memory alive, which is one of the reasons why I named the school Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. Now, some people ask me, if you were not related to Frederick Douglass, would you still have named the school after him? Quite possibly, because when I look at what he has done for African people in America, there's few black leaders who come close to his achievement, having been the only leader we had in both slavery and freedom to be prominent, you know, to liberate himself by putting his hands on a slave master, you know, fighting literally for his freedom, you know, proving the myth of the intellectual inferiority of African people, proving that false with his 1845 release of Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, his fight for independent black institutions, you know, his energizing black men to get involved in the Civil War to fight for our liberation. And he also wanted to open up an independent school, but never got a chance to. So in many respects, Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy is the completion of Frederick Douglass's academic dream.